What's good, everybody? It's your boy CM Gamer, aka the guy with the chilled and mellow vibes, and I am also known as CM-GRUNT on my wrestling channel or my wrestling vids. And this is just me giving a quick rundown of Elimination Chamber. I'm not sure if you guys watched it. You know, it was a good show. It was a nice change of pace to be able to watch a show in the morning live. So that was good. Obviously, I'm from the UK, and no, it was good. Like, other than Saudi Arabia, when the show's coming at around about 4 p.m., which again is a nice change of pace, it was good to be able to watch a show at that time. And yeah, so we kicked off the show obviously with the Women's Elimination Chamber, but I will quickly point out that there was a match on the pre-show, which was the Women's Tag Teams Champions. They were putting their title on the line against Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. So the Kabuki Warriors retained their title. I heard it was a good match. I did not watch it. But if it was good action, it was good action. But we're here to talk about the main show. And the main show started with the Women's Chamber match. So it started off with Naomi and Becky, and they had a nice little back and forth. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that being a nice little 1v1 match would be nice to see. It would be good to see. I feel like if one of them has the title at some point, i.e. Becky, because I reckon Becky's probably going to beat Rhea. Spoilers. I reckon that would be a nice little program, but with Naomi being on SmackDown and Becky being on Raw, that probably won't happen anytime soon unless they do a draft or the draft is dead. But yeah, it was a good little back and forth before they started having all the other women coming out. There was a few surprises in there, like Naomi being eliminated as early as she was. It was Tiffany Stratton that eliminated her, which for me made sense. They've been having back and forths on SmackDown. I haven't seen the most recent SmackDown, so I don't know what happened on it. But I do feel that this will be the WrestleMania program, so keep eyes peeled out for that. Raquel being dominant at times, I expected. What I didn't expect as well was Liv, Becky, and Bianca being the last three. Like, I expected it to potentially be Becky and Bianca, but I didn't expect it to be Liv at the end. I thought it may have been Becky, Bianca, and maybe Tiffany Stratton to kind of solidify her and make her look strong. So having Liv at the end was surprising, but they've been trying to make her look strong since she come back, to be fair. So that, I guess, in a way makes sense. And also, all three of them got a claim for Rhea. Obviously, Becky's been having her back and forth with Rhea recently. Bianca and Rhea had the Rumble back and forth. Was it last year? I feel like it was last year. No, it wasn't last year. It was the year before when Bianca won it. And then obviously Liv Morgan was injured by Rhea. So they've all got a claim, but that was a shock having it as those last three. And then Liv pinning Bianca was also a shock because that was clean. Like, there was no shenanigans there. It was just a case of she caught her by surprise and she got pinned. So that was a shock to me. That made Liv look strong. So yeah, but Becky winning was the most predictable choice. It was the right choice. You're gonna hear me say a lot of things about predictability, but yeah, it was a good match from what I saw. And yeah, the next match was the tag team titles being on the line. It was the Judgment Day against a team that should be called it should be Strong Style, or it should be I forget what their name was before, but Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, whatever their name was before, that I have completely forgotten. My point is, it shouldn't be New Catch Republic. That shouldn't be their name. But I didn't see all of that match because I was trying to deal with my 7-year-old and give him food and whatever. But it was a good match from what I saw. Nice little ending to the match as well. There was good spots, good back and forths, and then the ending was good. I can't remember Damian Priest's finisher, but it's that choke slam. He did that. He did a double one of that to both of New Catch Republic off the turnbuckle, which was really cool to see. And then Finn hit the coup de grace, tagged himself and hit the coup de grace onto Pete Dunne for the dub. So yeah, I again expected that result. Reason being is because I reckon that the payoff for all the stuff happening with R-Truth is that I reckon it's going to be R-Truth and The Miz going up against the Judgment Day for the titles at WrestleMania. That's what I think is going to happen, and I also think that R-Truth and Miz are going to win. They shouldn't, but they probably will. That's going to be the payoff, I believe. So yeah, Judgment Day for the win. The next match, also as well, I feel like that match was filler. It was a good match, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it was filler because I feel like people were here mostly for the women's chamber match, the men's chamber match, because that's the whole gimmick, and Rhea's match being the main event because Rhea, Australia, home country. So yeah, the next match was the men's chamber, and again there was a lot of good spots in this. I didn't realize until the match started that Drew was the only Raw superstar in this match. And don't get me wrong, I already knew Drew was winning. I think most people that knew about this match, knew the story going into it, knew about all the competitors and stuff, I think most people suspected that Drew was winning. I don't think anybody was thinking otherwise, because other than maybe Logan Paul, who's got beef with Seth already, who was going to win? Who was going to fight Seth? They've been pushing Drew fighting Seth heavily on Raw. They've been pushing Becky facing Rhea heavily on Raw. So both those two matches ending with those two winners made, one, the most sense, but two, was very predictable. So obviously I've just given away spoilers. Drew won, but there was a lot of good spots in this match. The way in which Randy lost, because Randy was the last, it was Randy and Drew was the last two. The way how Randy lost was unexpected. So what happened was Logan Paul got RKO'd, then got eliminated. Then Drew and Randy was having back and forth. You know, playing off, from what I thought, they were playing off the feud that they had before, you know, when Drew had the belt. And you know what was funny about that as well was that obviously their roles are reversed now. So now Drew's a heel and Randy's a face. So yeah, that match, that little match up there was nice. The only thing I will say though is it wasn't necessarily fun all the time watching Randy wrestle, because Randy just looks like he's in pain, especially every time he took a back bump. We suspected that he would take about 4. I think he took 6, but 3 of them, I think, were RKOs. So, like, yeah. You know what I mean? So he took 3 from wrestling moves, I think, and then 3 RKOs. And I count them because the RKOs is what's done his back in to begin with. So yeah, but after Logan Paul got eliminated, Randy tried to get up, and then Drew was going to claymore him, and then he didn't get up. So Drew went to go pick him up, and as he went to go pick him up, Randy hit him with the RKO, which you would expect would have been the 1, 2, 3. He would get the dub. Logan Paul comes out of nowhere, hits Randy with the brass knucks, and Drew then pins him. So it makes Randy look strong because it was a dusty finish. It makes Drew look opportunistic, and obviously it makes him also look strong because he was able to last out all the guys and win. And also, Drew was the only Raw guy in the match. Like, he's the one with the storyline going in against Seth. Of course he was going to win. Like, having a SmackDown guy win it didn't make sense anyway, but him being the only Raw guy just made it feel like, oh, well, of course he's going to win. So that was annoying, but Drew was always going to win. Oh yeah, also as well, before that match, I believe we had the Grayson Waller effect. No, that's a lie. It was Austin Theory live. He called out Grayson Waller, and then it was the Grayson Waller effect. All dead. But then he called out Seth, he called out Cody. Those two both came out. He had a good joke about the American system, or the American educational system is the reason why Cody can't finish his story. You have to hear the way he dropped it. It was quite clever and quite funny. But yeah, it was just, why have you got a talk show segment? I know why. It was an excuse to get Grayson Waller on the show being Australian, and to get Cody and Seth on the card, but it is what it is. They were there. Cody's challenged Rock to a match. I believe that it's going to be, I don't think it's been announced or official yet, but I reckon it's going to be Cody and Seth versus The Rock and Roman, because apparently The Rock's contract, or The Rock being a part of the board of directors for TKO, is that, or the board, whatever, for TKO, was that he was supposed to have a WrestleMania main event. Now, obviously, he's not going to have the match against Roman anymore. So if he tags with him for night 1 and they do double duty, or he does double, not him, Roman does double duty, Cody does double duty, and Seth does double duty, then 1, that gives Seth an excuse as to why he loses against Drew, because I think Drew will win that match. It it means Cody and Roman are both going to be tired for their match, which could potentially play into what happens in their match. But yeah, it was an informative segment. I won't say it was good. It was informative. But yeah, Cody challenged Rock. They're gonna fight, obviously. I just don't know when, but it's probably gonna be WrestleMania Night 1. And yeah, they beat up Grayson Waller. Of course they did. It is what it is. Anyway, onto the men. No, I said the main show, but now onto the main event, which is Rhea versus Nia Jax. And again, I missed parts of this, but this match was good. I have to say this. I have to give Nia Jax her props. I feel like she has been very good since she's come back. I don't think she's injured anybody since she's come back either. But I feel like she's been really good since she's come back. I feel like she's had some pretty good matches since she's been back. Like, what was the match she had against the match against Becky Lynch? That match was really good. And there's not really many matches you can pull off a resume that says, oh, that match was really good. And I know that Becky can have really good matches with a lot of different people, but I just feel like that match in particular, and I think she's had a couple of other matches as well, that she's been really good since she's come back. She was good in the Rumble as well. So for me, Nia Jax was really good, and she was good in this match as well. But obviously it's Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is amazing also, and Rhea Ripley murdered her, as she should have. So yeah, she got the win. It was a good pay-per-view overall. I don't know what I would give it. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5. And that's not to say that the wrestling was bad. That's not to say the wrestling wasn't... There was some really amazing things. But for me, one, it wasn't really standout. For me, that there have been many better pay-per-views. Two, it was way too predictable. Like, everything was predictable. Every match, there was 4 matches, 5 matches if you count the pre-show. Everything was predictable. You knew every winner. Like, the only way in which you wouldn't know the winner is if you didn't know a storyline going into it, or you didn't know what their plans were coming out of it. Like, you kind of know about the R-Truth Miz thing, so you kind of figured that was going to be the storyline after this. So unless they did it without the titles, it's going to be Judgment Day versus Miz and Truth. You kind of knew that. Becky and Rhea have been doing back and forths for a while. So unless Becky was going to be facing Nia Jax, because they've got history, like, you know what I mean? But the problem with that was Becky was still going to win, because Becky's the one with the beef with Nia Jax as well. So that means it's the same person winning to be facing Nia Jax or Rhea Ripley. So you knew Becky was winning that. Drew was the only Raw wrestler, and he was the only logical choice to face that Raw superstar, because he's got beef with Seth. Like I said, the only other person I can think of maybe Bobby Lashley, but I would have said Logan Paul. Like, for me, it's just like that was way too predictable. And then the other match, which was the Rhea Ripley match, again, like, if Nia won, again, she's got beef with Becky to the point where that could have made sense. But Rhea losing in Australia was never going to happen. And Rhea has been having her promos specific with Becky. Now, the fact that they've been putting the spotlight only really on Becky in the Elimination Chamber just made it bait she was going to win. And it made it bait she was going to be facing Rhea. So, way too predictable. And you're not going to make Kabuki Warriors drop the title. Like, come on now. I didn't even... Was Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae even pushed or propped up at this point? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, man. I mean, like I said, good pay-per-view, but can't give it more than 3.5, because I'm not saying predictability is bad. I've been saying this to my cousin. I don't think it's bad, but I do think that sometimes too much predictability can spoil it. And I do think this is way too predictable, even though they were all logical choices. But anyway, guys, make sure you check out my previous videos. Make sure you like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the pay-per-view. Let me know what you would have done differently. Let me know what your plans are going into WrestleMania, what you think that's going to happen, what WWE are going to do. And yeah, I've got videos coming up. I've got videos in regards to WrestleMania, in regards to AEW as well. I've got a Swerve Strickland video coming up, which I am really excited for. So make sure you guys check that out when that comes up. And yeah, this was a lot longer than I wanted it to be, 15 minutes. But hey ho, appreciate you guys. I'll chat to you in a bit. And make sure you like and subscribe. Peace.